Welcome to the Unshakeable Talks with me, Katy. This is where we lift the lid on what entrepreneurs are really going through. The struggles, the myths, the mistakes, and the things we've been sold to. This is where we talk about how we balance business and life. This isn't another podcast teaching strategy. This is where we talk about the raw, real truth about female entrepreneurship and what it really means to run a business and life and combine both of them together. Running a business as a woman isn't harder, it's just different. And it's time we talk about this. There is no cap on what we can achieve, because behind every business, there's the stuff no one dares to talk out loud. Today we have the lovely Lyndzee from Lyndzee's Lymphatics on my podcast. And Lyndzee is a manual lymphatic training specialist with a salon based in Hertfordshire. And I know Lyndzee not only personally, but I know Lyndzee as a client. I know Lyndzee's business inside out because we embarked on this journey of becoming an entrepreneur together. And I can't wait for you to hear the insights of how it is for her to build her business and run her business. On today's episode, I would like to welcome Lyndzee from Lyndzee's Lymphatics. And Lyndzee is not only an amazing entrepreneur, she's also a very special friend to me. And I like to start this episode with Lyndzee's favorite drink, the espresso martini. Hello, Lyndzee.
Hello. Thank
Cheers.
you so much for having me. Cheers. You know me so well.
I know I do. I have a few very interesting questions for you, Lyndzee. So, you and me have been working together on your business for not too long, but for quite a while. And I like to ask you is what made you decide to become a female entrepreneur and to have your own business?
Oh, where do I start, really? Where do I start? I mean, before I met yourself, it kind of was just a dream. It was something that I would always float in the air and go, oh, one day I'll probably do this or I'll do that and I'll do something other than being a mother and a wife, a housewife, an Uber driver, a chef, all of the important things that happen in the household. I wanted something for myself and I really just didn't know where to start. So it was always just a dream, just something that I didn't think would ever be possible. So I always thought maybe I'd just be an administrator, work for someone in an office, do something local, casual, because that's all I thought I was capable of.
And we obviously, what no one knows, but we met on a retreat, like on a casual retreat, like a Pilates retreat. And do you remember the point where we first talked about the possibility of embarking on this journey as a female entrepreneur?
I actually do.
You do?
I do. Because for me, it was kind of the first time outside my inner circle, I felt like I had been seen. So you're always having conversations with people and going, oh yeah, that would be a great idea. Oh yeah, you should do that. But when I actually met you, you made me feel like it was possible. You really did ignite the fire and the flame to give me a good kick up the bottom to go, let's get to this. Let's start something. You're ready. You're more than ready. Let's get moving.
I remember that actually because you were at the time working in a local lymphatic studio, and I have a passion for lymphatic drainage massage on a personal note. I've been using it for many, many years for my personal health. So for me, it was a no-brainer. It was like, oh, how exciting. It's something I know about. It's something which I'm excited about. And I really saw the potential in you, and I couldn't bear the thought of you working for someone else and making someone else's dream come true. So I'm very well aware I totally pushed you into this, didn't I?
I think I needed that shove. I think I needed it though. I like I said, I was more than ready. It was there in the making, but I just didn't think it would be possible. So.
And why lymphatics for you?
Lymphatics for me is because I personally was on a health and wellness journey. I found myself feeling a little bit fatigued, bloated. My hormones were all over the place. I hit a certain age, as we all do.
We won't tell the age.
And I just wanted to find a more holistic way to feel better, other than what I was being advised by my doctors. I mean, there's lots of different ways of treating my symptoms, but I wanted to find a nice holistic way. And I was already in the industry. I was already around lots of women that had the same symptoms as me, that had the same struggles. So it organically moved into the direction that you so kindly shoved me in.
I remember, I think the first time we kind of spoke about actually doing it as a business was in around November time. And at the time, I have never really worked with someone from the very early stages. I usually work with women who have a business already and we're working on improving it. So in my head, I was obviously trying to be really positive and really encouraging to you and said, yeah, we can do this, no problem. And you were a little bit doubtful, but in my head it was like, no, we will be doing this. And I remember we had a holiday coming up, didn't we? We wanted to go to Miami as a girls' trip. And we were kind of trying to figure out a way when to launch and when to open the business. And I said to you, we're going to do this, the launch party just before we go to Miami. And you said, oh, you're crazy, Katy, it's only 90 days. I said, yeah, we can do that. That's no problem. But what was kind of your first, did you really actually think when we first talked about this, that's actually going to happen? We will actually be doing this.
Well, I mean, we've blinked and it's happened. We didn't have much time to think about it. Like you said, you'd already, once we ignited the flame, you put together a project plan, got the ball rolling. There's lots of cogs that are involved in building a business. As you know, me telling the business coach, because you were on me every single day. I felt like I was the only person in your world, because you made sure that I was keeping on top of everything and not feeling overwhelmed. And every time I felt overwhelmed, friend Katy kicked in and was like, this is fine. We've got this. So the fact that we did it within such a short period of time just showed how focused you was on actually making what I wanted to do possible, and didn't give me enough time to worry and stress about it.
Yeah, there was no turning back. Once it was emotion, it was emotion.
Yeah.
But what I find is, like you just said, I gave you the push and I said, no, there's no option that it's not going to work. Within my journey, I never had that kind of person and around me, and I wasted a lot of time on doubting myself and rethinking of a decision and all of this. And within my work, I'm really focused on just pushing people to go for it and go through that whole process. But I also know it's not easy. And one reason why it's not easy is that usually, quite often, people around us aren't on the same journey and they don't necessarily understand the journey you're embarking on. So did you feel this as well, or was that an easy transition for you?
Oh, no. Sorry. It wasn't.
So it wasn't have another sip.
My answers might become a bit more honest the more I start drinking this. Not that I'm not being completely honest anyway. Of course I am. But no, like I said, there was a lot of cogs involved in rotating the wheel. Had I have not had you as a buffer, a coach and a friend, I would have given up. Even when you asked if people around me felt the shift in me being mum to me now becoming a business owner, they did. I mean, the washing piled up, the fridge was empty, the Uber service was cancelled, but it didn't stop everybody still expecting me to do everything and be there. So that made me feel selfish and guilty that I was doing something for me. So I would then question, am I doing it at the right time? Should I just wait? Because my family still need me. Like, they obviously still need me because they're not getting on with things without consulting me but then that was just something they were always used to. So everybody over time has adjusted, and they've all got used to the fact that I'm a little bit more busier than I was before, and they respect the fact that I'm building something, and I think they're all very proud of me too and what I've achieved. So they've started doing their own washing.
Well, I know that they're very proud of you firsthand, and I'm very proud of you as well. So, but I also feel like, if we are being really, really honest as women, would you agree with me when I say that a lot of the guilt we're putting on ourselves comes really from our own insecurities, from the wrong standards we're setting for ourselves in how we should be amongst family or friends or anything else? And for me, it was almost like, if I look back, it was almost like, do I deserve this? What have I actually done to deserve this good thing for me? Mm-hmm. Would you agree with me to a certain extent, or?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people that you surround yourself as well make you question that, because sometimes, don't get me wrong, I had a lot of supportive people around me and friends that encouraged me, but then, you know, I had a few people that just wanted to see what I was doing, and then that kind of knocked your confidence a little bit, because they weren't really fully into maybe experiencing lymphatics. They just wanted to know what I was doing. So doubt did kick in and make me feel like I shouldn't be doing it. Maybe I should just go back to doing what I did before and be a housewife. It made me question if I was on the right path or not. Other people's opinions.
It almost takes you back to your comfort zone, isn't it? To what you know you're good at. So without I think the greatest achievements always originate from a point of fear, because the fear of failure, of like, can I actually do this? And even if people like me or other people around you tell you can, it doesn't stop your own thoughts, doesn't it?
No.
It doesn't stop like the doubting yourself and all of this. So obviously we did meet the 90-day deadline. We did meet the launch day. How did you feel on launch day?
Oh, I was absolutely petrified. Absolutely petrified. I was like a teenager that had arranged a party that I was worried that no one was going to turn up to. So I was more worried. I was worried that I wasn't going to have the support that people initially were offering. Mm-hmm. So when I gave out all the invites and we invited people would say, yeah, I'll come. And then, you know, the hours up to the event and you get messages on your phone saying, oh, sorry, I can't make it. Sorry, I can't be there. That's when your heart starts sinking and thinking, oh, was this a good idea? Was this a good idea? Oh, should we just... But the team I say team, friends and family that I had around me, that all muscled in to pull it all together for me and help, because we didn't outsource catering or a professional company to set it up. We done it in my home, and we just put together a fantastic spread, lots of Prosecco, and the vision that you helped me build, the vision that truly come from your mind, formed, and it looked amazing. And once one or two people turned up, all my worries seemed to just drift away, because even if I didn't have at least 70 people in that room, which I hate to add, I did have at least 70 people in that room.
You had loads of people coming.
And they were coming, they did not stick to the time because we did say from 12 till 2, and they were still filtering through at 5 o'clock.
Well, I was still there at 6.
So
we were still drinking Prosecco at 6, so it was very successful.
It was a successful afternoon stroke evening, and it made me feel very special.
Oh, good.
It made me feel so special, and it made me believe in myself even more.
What you just said is when you said we didn't outsource anything, everyone kind of like your inner circle rallied around you. I think this is a very important point to touch up on when it comes to building your own business. I think a lot of people are scared of actually doing that for themselves because they associate this massive to-do list, and there is a big to-do list, but this massive task, this super expensive task around building your own business. But it doesn't always have to be like this. Obviously, it depends on what industry you're moving into. But for you, yes, you had me, and having someone, I suppose, to guide you and put your vision into reality, that is extremely helpful if you can have that. But it doesn't need a whole lot of other people to show up, doesn't it? It just needs you to show up for yourself and for your vision.
Yeah, for sure. And that's where the overwhelming sensation kicks in as well, because you try and do too much because then you want to please everybody. You want to do something to encourage more people to come, and you're then doing it for other people and not for yourself. And then that's when you have to sit back and go, actually, this isn't about all the people that I've invited to come round and introduce to my new business. This is about me celebrating me with friends and family and introducing myself to new people.
And fast forward a couple of weeks after obviously the launch and then a short girls' holiday, you finally opened the door. Like, what was it, 3 months after we had the initial conversation, the initial like, let's do this. How did that day feel? And can I just say, not blowing my own trumpet, I'm blowing your trumpet here. You opened the door with a calendar full of bookings. So you didn't just open the door and hope for a client to come in. You had quite a few clients. I won't say the number, I know the number, but it's not about the number game here. It's about, like, actually, you worked really hard to put yourself out there and to get to that point that on that day when you came back from holiday and you had, I believe 1 or 2 days to kind of have to turn around, and then you opened the door with a day fully booked of clients. So how did that feel?
Scary. I was scared. I was scared so much that I forgot my practice. But yeah, no, words can't describe how pleased I've been with the business. I mean, we built a great foundation, and that foundation is solid. And it's just got better and better and better every day. So much so that I am asking myself, is this really what I want? Because now I'm working so much more than I used to, but I love it. I do love it. And even though it does again become overwhelming, I'm enjoying what I'm doing and I'm finding myself again.
Do you sometimes feel guilty for enjoying what you're doing? And maybe having less attention on other things, which you maybe feel like you should have more attention to?
I did. I don't anymore.
Okay, good.
I think I deserve it now.
You absolutely deserve it. No, absolutely. So if you would be standing in a circle of women again and those conversations, which I think women our age, when we raised our children and when it comes to the point when the children go off to uni or do their own thing, a lot of us come to that stage where we think, what's next? What is it now? If you have been, and I was in that position as well, I was running a business while raising a child, but then I stopped for a while because I closed that business down. And I kind of asked myself the question, what is next? What is there for me? Should I just slow down and not do anything, or do I owe it to myself to actually do what I really, really want to do? So how did that kind of translate for you?
Well, it evolved from the retreat that we went on together, because I was going through that transition of, no longer needing to take my son to school. He could take himself to school now. He's old enough to drive. So I was trying to discover who I was and what I needed to, my next step, my next stage. And then I met you. And we had lots of conversations, and we done like a bubble of ideas, and we were just, over an espresso martini
or two
on a health retreat, we would throw some ideas around. And I think that I am definitely on the right path, because it was always something I eventually wanted to do, but I was so scared to even begin to start the process of how do I get from A to B? How does that happen? People don't just put a sign up and say, now I'm offering manual lymphatic massages. It doesn't happen like that. So I was fortunate enough to, become acquainted with you as a business coach, and everything happens for a reason.
Oh, absolutely.
And, we were kind of just two peas in a pod and just formed my great empire.
Speaking of your great empire, tell me and the listeners, how does a normal day look for Lyndzee at Lyndzee's Lymphatics?
How does a normal day look? Well, I'm not completely stressed because I'm on a time crunch, because I have to be at an office, or I have to go and open up the buildings and get the heating on and put the lights on. I do, and I've learned to do everything that suits me in my own time. I'm fortunate enough to be working from home, so I block my time as and when I need to. So, and I'm in wellness. Who needs a masseuse that's going to be stressed and you put all their stress onto that person? No one wants that. That's not why people are coming to me. So fortunately, my day is I make myself a matcha. I might take the dog for a walk. I might take a few moments reading yesterday's news or something. I don't stress myself out anymore, but I do have a full day of people, and that's what keeps me busy during the day.
I think you have created what is the ideal setup, in my personal opinion. I know that people, obviously, and also now that we're talking about it, it sounds all very rosy and all very great and glamorous, and like you can drink your matcha in the morning, take the dog for a walk, you don't really have to stress. But I think what I want to touch up on is that there's a lot of hard work behind the scenes. There is a lot of, when you work in a 9 to 5, you go into the office at 9, you go home at 5 or at 6 or whenever that may be, you get your paycheck, there comes a certain security with it. When you're an entrepreneur, you have freedom of choice, you have the power of actually your earning potential is so much better than working for someone. But that comes also with a lot of commitment. And a lot of people don't see this. A lot of people just see the shiny things. A lot of people just say, okay, I saw Lyndzee on Friday down the pub and having lunch. I have to be at work. How comes that you can have lunch on a Friday afternoon? But they don't see that, okay, Lyndzee works on the weekend. Lyndzee works the evenings when you sit at home and maybe watch Coronation Street or whatever it may be for you. So I think the positives are definitely there. And that's why I love entrepreneurship. But it's also, do you feel like it's very hard to actually not get carried away with too much of the positives and actually pull yourself back and really reminding yourself of what's important to actually run the business? Because if you stop running the business stops running.
Yeah. And I'm at that stage now, actually, where I need to take a little bit more responsibility in, making people more aware of new products new treatments I might be introducing, new products I might be selling, because I very much have got settled into the fact that it's running itself. And who knows, actually tomorrow or 2 weeks down the line, I might not have any more clients. but I'm not in. I feel like I do need to prepare myself before that actually happens. I'm still stuck in the bubble of all the support and all the new clients because it's new to the area. People are still talking about it, so people are still booking. People still drive past me and say, oh, can I have your number? I've heard you do manual lymphatics. So I'm still gaining business that way, but I'm not focusing on the wider audience of clients that I could possibly be, encouraging through my door. But then again, that's when the overwhelming sensation kicks in, because I'm also still scared that I might be taking on too much. So that's still the doubt of, housewife Lyndzee, can I possibly take on as much as what people are offering me at the moment?
You definitely can. Let me tell you this, you definitely can.
I can.
And I'm very pleased to announce that I'm still here to kick your butt.
I know.
Don't you worry about that one. But thank you for being so honest, because I think whoever says they can't relate to this is lying, because we all go into the trap. Everything, as long as it's working and it's working fine, I almost believe it's human nature. Like we just ride the wave while it's waving.
Yeah.
But what you also had to go through is that life is lifing. Life throws things at you which you don't expect. And actually, when that happens, it's quite difficult to operate your business, isn't it? It's so much easier to be in an employment situation where you have a fallback on. So it actually takes a lot of guts and grit to pull yourself back and then to say, okay, I need X amount of time out to deal with whatever I need to be dealing with, but now I need to get the motivation back. My momentum is almost gone, but I know I can get it back, and to find this grit. And I definitely think you've done this. And I know you probably don't see it like this. You probably doubt yourself a bit too much, but I saw that you've definitely done this. So please tell me you see this as well.
Yeah, I do. I do. That's why I give myself little goals and I try and achieve those just to keep the momentum and the motivation going, because it's out of my comfort zone to do the salesperson pitch to people, to encourage new people in. It's not something I'm used to. And also, you asked before as well, having your own business, did it affect your family? Having your own business, as much as you can decide when you're working and when you're not, you're actually working all the time. You never stop. So I could be sitting at dinner and my phone will start bleeping and flashing, and I will try desperately not to look at it because I'm having a family meal. But then I know if I ignore it, that's another side of my business that I'm just putting on. So it needs my full attention, and sometimes at the mercy of the people around me.
I hope you don't mind me kind of touching up on this, but I think it's very important because I think a lot of people can relate to this, and I definitely can, because I'm pretty much have always been in this very similar position. I know, obviously, your originally family set up and your husband's job is not very regulated in terms of timings. So your husband doesn't work a 9 to 5. Your husband doesn't have like fixed working hours. Sometimes he can work like all day or during the night. So it's really volatile when it comes to timing. So actually, creating structure within a family unit is very difficult with this. But running a business, it requires structure. It requires regular showing up and certain things to be done at a certain time. And was that quite a transition for you to get used to? Because you haven't been used to that kind of structure or reliability for so long.
I'm still trying to get used to it.
Yeah. Thank you for being honest.
I'm still trying to get used to it. I'm still trying to juggle structure, routine with family, because there's still guilt. There's still guilt of me wanting to have this successful business and also still being present in my family dynamics and family home. So even though I might want to be up and about, I still have to be around to hear you know, my children's, about their day, and, you know, about my husband's day. And sometimes, because I've been working so much, I don't necessarily want to listen to them about their day. But no, I'm kind of going off topic slightly, because we're talking about structure and routine. It's very difficult because, like I say, having your own business means your business runs all day long, 24 hours a day. And unless you have the discipline to just turn off that phone and ignore it and not be worried that actually that might be the next best thing, the balance is still trying to be formed.
It's about boundaries, isn't it? It's about putting boundaries in place for, like, yourself and for your family as well, and your business.
Yeah.
And sticking to them. I think that's the most difficult part of entrepreneurship, because, like you said, it could be the next best client. So I don't really want to ignore this. So I really would like to kind of end this interview with, what's next for Lyndzee's Lymphatics?
Oh, wow. What's next?
Don't be shy. I know what's coming next. I want you to tell all the listeners what's next, because it's not just Lyndzee's Lymphatics, isn't it? You were talking about that you're working in the wellness industry, and wellness is a passion of you, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you really, within your business and your, like, the 5-year master plan we all have in our head, it's very much geared up going down the wellness route. So, and you've got some really exciting things coming up. So if you don't mind sharing, go ahead and share.
I do, actually. I do have a lot of exciting things coming up. I mean, we have the trip to Sorrento, which I'm hoping to then introduce the new products I'll be launching for my business. Also, it will put me in touch with other like-minded women, which then also helps my ego.
Yes.
Where we all share how wonderful we all are together. And like I said before, the foundations are solid, and it doesn't come without some sort of doubt or fear. There's always going to be that there, but I believe that has to be that's where growth comes from now.
Absolutely.
Growth
happens on the other end of fear. Is that a saying? I believe that's the saying. Definitely.
Well, I don't know, but if it is,
I've read it somewhere. I'm sure I saw it somewhere online, but yeah, we go with it.
Yeah, let's go with it. But yeah, I anybody that's thinking of starting their own business, I would 1,000,000% tell them to find themselves, if they're scared, find themselves a cheerleader like I had, a business coach, because they will help you understand all the things that you don't, and they get your true potential. They see your true potential.
Yeah, you almost need someone outside of your circle, or you need to create, like, what I always say, your business circle friends, because generally speaking, your private circle doesn't really understand, because they don't know that new version of you. They don't know that person you're about to become. They just know Lyndzee for who you've always been. And Lyndzee's always been someone who's been there for everyone and everything at any time. That's how I got to know you when I first met you. But now Lyndzee's actually there for herself. And I'm really happy about this. I'm very proud of you. And I know what's to come. And it's very exciting. So, I'm really excited about this.
Watch this space.
I know. So let me end this lovely interview with a final question. So if you had to go back and would have to give your past self one brutally honest advice about business, what would it be?
Not to be fearful, not to be scared. If only one person turned up to my launch event, it meant more than anything. So one person didn't just turn up. But if there was only that one person, it still gave me the same feeling of empowerment and motivation. And I would tell my younger self, send those invites out. It doesn't matter. If no one turns up, believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Just believe in yourself. And who knows? you know, who knows? Look where I am now.
Look where you are now. And I think I would like to thank you for coming to my podcast and be one of my first guests. So thank you very much for coming. And if any of you like to know more about Lyndzee, go and check her out in the show notes.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for listening to the Unshakeable Talks. And I've got a very, very special invitation for you today. On the 29th of November, I'm hosting a really special event in London. And this is not another networking event where you've been pitched to. So there's not a sales event dressed in sequence. This is an event where it's all about true connections and true collaborations for female entrepreneurs. And it is about celebrating yourself with people who understand what it means to go for the female entrepreneurship. This is not just a dinner. This doesn't just stop when the last cocktail has been drunk. This is part of my mission to bring together an exclusive group of women who are there to really collaborate and support each other. Head into the link into my show notes to purchase a ticket today.